Hello, good day everyone. Today I'm going to report two national and one international artists for literature. Firstly, the national literature. Number one, Cirilio F. Bautista, a national artist for literature in 2014, and he was born on July 9, 1941, and died on May 6, 2018 in Manila, Philippines. His parents are Claro Cruz and Victoria Manuel Francisco. He was a poet, fictionist, and essayist with exceptional achievements and significant contributions to the development of the country's literary arts. That's why most of his peers and critics and the nation acknowledge him as the foremost writer of his generation. Another, Bautista contributed to the development of Philippine literature as a writer through his significant body of works and as a teacher through his discovery and encouragement of young writers in workshops and leaders. Also as a critic through his essays that provided insights into the crafts of writing and correctives of misconceptions about art. As a teacher of literature, he realized that the classroom is an important training ground for Filipino writers. In De La Salle University, he was instrumental in the formation of the Benito Santos Creative Writing Center. He was also the moving spirit behind the founding of the Philippine Literary Arts Council in 1981, the Iligan National Writers Workshop in 1993, and the Baguio Writers Group. He received Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards for poetry, fiction, and essay in English and Filipino, as well as Philippine Free Press Award for Fiction and Gawad Balagtas, and he received many more awards. And Carlos Palanca Memorial Awards is one of the most prestigious literary awards in the Philippines. Here are his literary works, which are Summer Suns 1963, Words and Battlefields 1988, The Trilogy of Saint Lazarus in 2001, and under this trilogy of Saint Lazarus, The Archipelago, Telex Moon, Sunlight and Broken Stones. These are one book. What Rizal Told Me, Galaw ng Asoge, a novel, Sugat ng Salita, 1985. And an epic, I choose this The Archipelago because this focused on Spanish colonization of the Philippines starting from the arrival of Ferdinand Magellan in 1521. It challenges the conventional glorification of Magellan and explores the violent, complex history of the islands under colonial rule. The poem referencing historical figures such as Magellan, Legazpi, and the national hero Jose Rizal, and the mythic elements into a dense, lyrical meditation on Philippine history, identity, and the Filipino people's struggle. This epic poem entitled The Archipelago is his first part of his large work on the Trilogy of Saint Lazarus, which narrates Philippine history in a modern epic poetic form. He uses third person of view because the narrator can see and know everything, where Bautista dived into the minds of historical figures such as Magellan, Legazpi, and Rizal, showcasing what they are thinking and feeling. At the same time, it allows him to capture the shared consciousness and spirit of the entire Filipino nation. As you can see, the characters here are Ferdinand Magellan, Miguel Lopez de Legazpi, and Jose Rizal. The setting spans the islands of the Philippines, especially during and after initial European encounters and conquest, with particular imagery focused on places like Malacca. The poem conveys themes of loss, violence, and exploitation experienced during colonization, and the author used free verse theme, rhyming schemes, Next national art literature artist is Alejandro, or known as Anding R. Roses. He was born in July 13, 1924 and died on May 23, 2011 at the age of 86. His wife, Irene Yorston Viola, and his parents, Rafael Roses and Inocencia Reyes. He was a short story writer, essayist, dramatist, and considered as the country's best writer of comic, short story, and national artist of the Philippines literature. And Roses used humor of comic short stories as a literary device to explore and celebrate the Filipino characters, often focusing on ordinary people and everyday situations. And Roses is widely considered as country's best writer of comic short stories. He served as Secretary of Education from 1961 to 1965 during the term of Philippine President Diosdado Macapagal. He has also served as chairman of the MTRCB, or known as Movie and Television Review and Classification Board, in 2001. He was known for changing the date of Philippine Independence Day from July 4 to June 12. His unflinching love of country led him to become a guerrilla during the Second World War, to defy martial arts, and to found the major opposition party under dictatorship. And he received Carlos Palanca Memorial Award for Literature, Patnubay ng Sining, Kalinangan Award, and Diwa ng Lahi, and many more. Here are his literary works: My Brother's Peculiar Chicken, which made him famous; We Filipinos Are Mild Drinkers; Of Cocks and Kites; Fiesta; Something to Crow About. His works have been published in various international magazines and received numerous national and international awards, including several decorations from various governments. And I choose My Brother's Peculiar Chicken as one of his literary works, which it was listed as Martha Foley's Best American Stories. The widely anthologized comic story revolves around two brothers, Kiko and the narrator, who argue about whether a peculiar chicken they found is a rooster or a hen. They take the chicken to various people in their village to determine its sex, but no one agrees. To settle the dispute, Kiko enters the chicken in a cockfight, where it surprisingly wins, seemingly proving it is a rooster. However, the story humorously concludes with the chicken laying an egg, revealing it is actually a hen despite its rooster-like behavior. The story mainly explores the theme of differing perspectives and appearances being deceiving. And the author here used first-person POV because the narrator is the younger brother who recounts the events in the ongoing debate with his older brother about the chicken. And the keywords here using the I and my brother. The characters: Kiko, the older brother who believes the chicken is rooster. Kiko's younger brother believes the chicken is a hen. Third, mother tries to mediate but sides with calling the chicken binabae or effeminate. Fourth, father disagrees with the mother, sparking an argument. And fifth, Mr. Cruz, the local poultryman, unsure about the chicken's gender. Another, teniente, or the village chief, called upon but cannot give a definite answer. And now, presenting you the one international literature artist. He is Gabriel Garcia Marquez, also known as Gabo or Gabito. He was born on March 6, 1927, and died on April 17, 2014. He was a Colombian novelist, short story writer, and journalist, renowned as one of the most significant authors of the 20th century, and a key figure in international literature through his contributions to magic realism. He was the foundational figure in magic realism, blending fantastical elements with realistic narrative. His style and storytelling have inspired numerous writers worldwide, extending beyond literature to film, theater, and popular culture. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1982 for his novels and short stories, honorary doctorate from Columbia University, New York, Romulo Gallegos Prize, Prix du Meilleur Livre étranger, multiple Ariel Awards, and his are his notable works: 100 Years of Solitude, Love in the Time of Cholera, Chronicle of a Death Foretold, No One Writes to the Colonel. And I choose 100 Years of Solitude as his work. The novel tells the story of the rise and fall of the mythical town of Macondo through the history of the Buendia family. Rich and brilliant, it is a chronicle life, death, and the tragicomedy of humankind. In the beautiful, ridiculous, and tawdry story of the Buendia family, one sees all of humanity, just as in the history, myths, growth, and decay of Macondo. One sees of all the Latin American. Love and lust, war and revolution, riches and poverty, youth and senility, the variety of life, the endless of death, the search for peace and truth. The characters here are Jose Arcado Buendia, Colonel Aureliano Buendia, Ursula Iguaran, Remedios Mascote, Aureliano Jose, Rebecca, Amaranta, Santa Sofia de la Piedad, and Arcadio. The fictional town of Macondo is the setting, and Macondo is founded in remote uncharted area, surrounded on all sides by water, making it initially difficult to reach. The genre of these novels is magical realism, family saga, and epic fiction. The narrator uses a third-person omniscient narrator in this novel. The conflict of the story is the struggle between the Buendia family desire for connection and their inescapable solitude. And this now adapted in Netflix series starring Claudio Catano, Jeronimo Baron, and Macro Gonzalez. And here's are my references. And thank you for listening.